Here's a plain 2-5-1. Here's a more interesting 2-5-1. Here's a more interesting 2-5-1. And here's the most interesting 2-5-1 of the three. What I'm doing on the 5 chord here is called an upper structure chord, and in this video we're going to take a look at the 3 most useful upper structures to know that employ a minor 7 flat 5 chord, or minor 6. Let's dig in. The first skill you need to get together before we go any further is to understand minor 7 flat 5 chords and their relationship to minor 6 chords. They are inversions of each other. They contain the same exact notes. B minor 7 flat 5 has B, D, F, and A in it. D minor 6 has D, F, A, and B in it. They are the same notes with a different root. They have different names because they're both used so much that it's useful to call the inversions by their name, not just like B flat minor 7 flat 5, first inversion. A lot of time you have that relationship in music. But inversions are not substitutions. Substitutions is when I take either that B minor 7 flat 5 or D minor 6, which are the same thing, and then I apply them. This sound over G gives me a G9 sound. This sound, the D minor 6 over G, still gives me the G9 sound. It has the same notes. What it really gives me the ability to do is add the 9th to the G sound that just comes out of Mixolydian, but remove the root. That B minor 7 flat 5 has all the notes of G7 with a 9 minus the root. It has root, 3, 5, flat 7, 9. Without the root, just 3, 5, flat 7, 9. And what I'm doing when I'm playing substitutions is I'm training my brain to first of all be able to invert that sound and then memorize its relationship to that G root. This sound can really be thought of 4 ways because there are 4 inversions. The first one has a name, B minor 7 flat 5. The second one has a name, D minor 6. The next inversion doesn't really have a name, but you can name it. Check this out. What is that chord? It is a D minor 6 first inversion or a B minor 7 flat 5 second inversion. But if I just take a closer look and imagine F as the root, it looks just like an F6 with a sharp 4 instead of a 5th. Now that's a super useful sound. It's kind of Lydian. People don't talk about this guy. So I'm just thinking about F Lydian over that G root, right? That's sort of what's in that voicing. The next one just kind of looks like a minor 6 chord. Now, these are the 4 drop 2 inversions on the guitar on the middle 4 strings, and they need to be memorized. 1, 2, 3, 4, all over this sound. Along with that, there are arpeggio shapes. Around this one, you can play this. Around this one, you can play this. So let's say I understand that concept. So now I'm telling you, okay, that B minor 7 flat 5 could be used in place of the G. And that's our first upper structure substitution that we're going to use. A lot of you guys know it from just watching a funk chord, G7, funk James Brown sound. If you just take the root away, the top is B minor 7 flat 5, just on this set of strings. So if we know how to invert it, we can use it in place of the 5 chord. So the first thing to practice is a 2-5-1 close together, meaning D minor 7, here's an inversion of it, going to that B minor 7 flat 5, going to C. Another way to think about it is D minor 7, D minor 6, C. D minor 7, D minor 6, C. And finally D minor 7, D minor 6, C. Cool, so that's a way of thinking about a 2-5-1 using an upper structure sound, and that upper structure comes from the major scale. Now I'm going to show you two more sounds that come from different scales. The first one from harmonic minor, and this one is pretty cool. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to see D half diminished in place of G. What's the logic there? Well, G7 that comes from harmonic minor would take C harmonic minor, meaning G Mixolydian flat 2, flat 6. These notes, 1, flat 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. People call this scale Mixolydian flat 2, flat 6, harmonic minor 5 below, or Phrygian dominant. It goes by many names, but that's the sound. Now, inside C harmonic minor, what I need to do is map out the sounds I get. I have 1 minor major 7, 2 minor 7 flat 5, flat 3 major 7, 4 minor 7, 5 7, flat 6 major 7, and 7 diminished. 2 minor 7 flat 5 is the same as 4 minor 6. We just studied that inversion. So I can use D minor 7 flat 5 or F minor 6 for all of my G7 sounds, and that evokes that kind of thing. So now let's check this out. Here is my D minor 7 in my 2-5-1 example. Now I'm going to go F minor 6 and resolve to C. In the next inversion, D minor 7, D minor 7 flat 5, 1. In the next inversion, F major 6, D minor 7, same thing. F minor 6, D minor 7 flat 5, same thing. Resolving to C. And finally, I'm here. My favorite. Listen how nice that sounds, right? I can map out the arpeggios that go with those shapes too. Here's that F minor 6. Now in context, here's my 2 chord. It's really going 4 major 6, 4 minor 6. Beatles, baby. But you can do that on top of any 2-5-1. 2, 5, 1. And I'm going. Right? Very cool sound. Cool. So that's the second upper structure I can use, the harmonic minor one. How do I memorize the relationship? Well, if I'm thinking from the 5 chord, I either do half diminished from the 5th, or I go a whole step down and play minor 6, right? This is F minor 6, right? The sound, just with a G root. Oh, baby. Now, the last one is from altered. What is altered? Altered is when I go a half step up and play melodic minor, so that A flat melodic minor sound on G, right? That sound. So this one gives me 7 chords. The first one is A flat minor major 7. Second one is B flat Phrygian with a 6. Third one is B major 7 sharp 5. Then I have D flat 7, E flat 7, F minor 7 flat 5, and G minor 7 flat 5. So I'm going to ignore G minor 7 flat 5. If you want the whole Megillah and to really know every single chord you can use, we made a course about this. It's super detailed. It goes through every sound separately, and it's on our Patreon for free for members, or you can just purchase the bundle. That's up to you. But we're just going to focus on this F minor 7 flat 5 sound over the G. So just like I thought about like a whole step down minor 6 chord for the harmonic minor, if I think a whole step down minor 7 flat 5 over that G, get that altered sound. Now again, let's do the minor 6 conversion. F minor 7 flat 5 is the same as A flat minor 6. That's pretty cool. It's the same as that Be Cool Lydian thing that we did, and the same as this inversion for the A flat minor 6 with the 5th in the bass. So those are my shapes. Now let's break those up into arpeggios. Here's the first one, right? Over the G. Maybe sing the root to get the sound in your ear. Do, 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 do. So that's pretty cool, but now let's check out the voice leading. It's all about the voice leading. So the first D minor chord goes to this. Everybody at the jam's gonna think you're so smart, right? It's like, you got that ooh, ooh, ay, de, do, da, right there, right? The voice leading is sick, right? Here's the next one. Or pretty sweet. Let's check out the next one. You got this guy or girl. A lot of times the sound in jazz is actually for the 2 and the 1 chord to not just be like boxy and just minor 7 and major 7 and have tensions on them. So you can go D minor 11 and then that chord and resolve to C6. Oh yeah, right? Right? So that last one I did here, D minor 7, and then that A flat minor 6. You can use that sound. Cool, so those are the top 3 upper structures. So let's again organize in our mind their starting points against that dominant chord. I can use it in any key if I just memorize that. So from the 3rd, I get the Mixolydian sound. From the 5th, the harmonic minor. And from the flatted 7th, the altered. Now notice something about them. They are minor 3rds apart. Is that a clue to something? I'm not going to tell you because the answer is on our Patreon if you become a member or if you purchase the bundle. Hope you guys liked the video. Subscribe, like, do all the stuff, and we'll see you next time.